Hi, I'm Scott, the inventor of the Neos radiator, which is this what we see here. And I'm just going to take you through a few simple features and facts about the product, which hopefully make it a lot easier to understand why we developed what we did. First of all, it's aluminium by design. The whole thing is sheet aluminium pressed out or laser cut. Internally, you can see we've got a double vented system at the front. It's called the Venturi, which is the chimney effect. In essence, what happens is the soapstone block that's mounted in the middle gets warm. It transfers the heat into the flutes. The air that's in the flute starts to rise, and then at the base of the radiator, we get more air being pulled into the radiator, warmed up through as it passes through, and then it releases it into the top. In essence, what we're trying to do is de-stratify a room as quick as possible. What that means is create comfort levels from the top of the room all the way down to the base of the room, so we want an even comfort level of heat everywhere around. A couple of the other features, we've got our own embedded thermostat built into it, which is called the Protostat. Very simple to use. It's literally a case of I want to be warmer by pressing up, I want to be colder by pressing down. It's got a fully functional 7-day timer, which is built into the side, and you can just work off and on-off mode at the side as well. Flipping it round, this is the patented technology called cool wall technology, or serpentine convection as well. In essence, what we wanted to do when we developed this system is to stop as much heat as possible being lost backwards into the wall. The idea behind that is if you have got a radiator which is the same at the front as what it is at the back, and it's radiating, let's say 40% heat out the front, 40% heat out the back, then 40% of that usable warmth is lost into the radiator. So we never dispute the 1 kilowatt in, 1 kilowatt out rule, and we'd be foolish to do so. But if you've got 1 kilowatt in, and you want to really get 1 kilowatt of usable warmth heat out, and if you're losing 40% of that backwards, you're only getting, in essence, 60% of that heat that's getting delivered into the room. So the way that this works is really simple. We've got these dimples. What happens then is, as the soapstone block internally warms up, air will get dragged through the base of the radiator here, and it will work in the serpentine method as it travels through the radiator. We're not trying to slow the air down. What we are trying to do is make it stay in the radiator a little bit longer, so the heat transfer from the block to the air becomes a lot more effective. What we've also done then is put small holes in on both sides. And what this does is any latent air that's hanging around the back, it pulls it through these holes and stops any heat being transferred backwards. There is a little bit of heat transferred backwards, we do admit, but nowhere near the 40% level, which you get from most radiators. A few of the key features, we've got zinc coated screws all the way through, so there's no surrendering of alloys. So we will know in 20 years you should still be able to undo that screw and keep it going. The reason why you want to be able to undo these screws is because it's modular by design, which means that we can swap out each of the sides by just taking screws out at the top. We can swap out the whole front plate, and we can swap out the lid, which detaches very easily. And then you can transform it from a white radiator to a brand new white radiator, or to a yellow radiator, or to an anthracite radiator, or however you wish. Basically meaning you never replace the core of the radiator, you only replace the outer shell.